The Battle of Gettysburg is one of the most iconic battles in American history, often seen as the turning point of the Civil War. But while most of us know the broad strokes, the epic clash between Union and Confederate forces, and Lincoln's famous Gettysburg Address, there's so much more to this battle than meets the eye. From strategic mistakes to little-known heroes, there are secrets about the Battle of Gettysburg that even some history buffs might not know. In today's video, we're uncovering some of those hidden stories and surprising facts that didn't make it into your history textbooks. So, if you're fascinated by Civil War history or just love learning the untold stories behind famous events, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on our future history deep dives. Now let's explore the Battle of Gettysburg like never before. When people think of the Battle of Gettysburg, they often picture Pickett's charge, the dramatic final assault on the third day of the battle. They may recall the sheer scale of the fight, over 160,000 soldiers clashing in the fields of Pennsylvania, with over 50,000 casualties. The battle is remembered as a decisive Union victory, and it's often credited with turning the tide of the Civil War. But what most people don't realize is that the Battle of Gettysburg was shaped by countless small decisions, unexpected events, and hidden strategies that changed the course of history. From the very beginning, the battle unfolded in ways that few could have predicted, and the stories behind those twists are both fascinating and surprising. For example, did you know that the battle might never have happened if it weren't for a desperate search for shoes? That's right, Confederate General Henry Heth's division entered Gettysburg looking for a supply of shoes. What started as a minor reconnaissance mission quickly escalated into one of the most significant battles in American history. But the story doesn't end there. To truly understand the battle, we need to go beyond the famous moments and dive into the lesser-known secrets that played a crucial role in the outcome. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked factors in the Battle of Gettysburg, the terrain. The battlefield's unique topography played a decisive role in shaping the tactics and outcomes. While we often focus on the heroic charges and artillery bombardments, the hills, ridges, and valleys of Gettysburg gave the Union Army a significant advantage. Positions like Cemetery Hill and Little Round Top provided the Union forces with elevated ground, allowing them to defend with a clear line of sight and repel Confederate attacks with greater effectiveness. Another secret lies in one of the biggest miscommunications of the war. On the second day of the battle, Confederate General James Longstreet was ordered to launch a surprise attack on the Union left flank. However, due to poor communication and delays, the attack didn't begin until late in the afternoon, giving the Union forces time to fortify their positions. This delay proved costly, as it allowed the Union to hold critical ground at places like Little Round Top, where Colonel Joshua Chamberlain's legendary defense became one of the defining moments of the battle. But what about the soldiers themselves? One of the hidden stories of Gettysburg is the devastating psychological toll the battle took on the men who fought there. For many soldiers, the Battle of Gettysburg was the first time they experienced large-scale combat, and the chaos, violence, and loss they witnessed left deep emotional scars. While we often hear about the physical casualties of the battle, the mental toll is rarely discussed. Soldiers on both sides suffered from what we would now recognize as post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, and the horror of Gettysburg stayed with them long after the battle ended. Another fascinating but lesser-known fact is the role of African American citizens in the aftermath of the battle. While they weren't combatants, free black citizens in Gettysburg played a crucial role in the days following the battle, helping to care for the wounded and bury the dead. Many African Americans in the area had fled before the battle, fearing capture by Confederate forces, but those who stayed behind provided essential aid to both Union and Confederate soldiers. Here's a question for you. When it comes to historical battles like Gettysburg, do you think we focus too much on the military tactics and not enough on the human stories behind them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. While Gettysburg is often remembered for its generals, Meade, Lee, Longstreet, there were countless lesser-known figures whose actions had a major impact on the outcome. One of those figures was a Union officer named Colonel Strong Vincent. Vincent was instrumental in holding Little Round Top, one of the most strategic points on the battlefield. When Confederate forces launched a furious attack on the hill, Vincent rallied his men to hold the line despite being heavily outnumbered. Vincent's bravery didn't make the headlines like Chamberlain's famous bayonet charge, but without his quick thinking and courageous leadership, the Union might have lost Little Round Top, and with it, the entire battle. Unfortunately, Vincent was mortally wounded during the fighting and died just days later, never receiving the recognition he deserved during his lifetime. Another unsung hero of Gettysburg is John Burns, a 69-year-old civilian who decided to take up arms and join the Union forces in defense of his hometown. Burns, a veteran of the War of 1812, fought alongside Union soldiers during the first day of the battle and was wounded 3 times. Despite his age and injuries, Burns became a local legend, and his story was celebrated by President Lincoln when he visited Gettysburg later that year. These are just a few examples of the many unsung heroes who played pivotal roles in the Battle of Gettysburg. Their stories remind us that history is not only shaped by the famous names we read about in textbooks, but also by ordinary individuals whose actions, large and small, helped determine the course of events. The Battle of Gettysburg was a turning point in American history, but it's also a battle full of secrets, surprises, and stories that often go untold. From the soldiers who fought on the front lines to the civilians who supported the war effort, there are countless layers to this historic event that go beyond the well-known facts. If you've enjoyed this exploration of the hidden stories behind Gettysburg, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our future deep dives into history. And before you go, let me know in the comments. What other battles or historical events would you like to learn more about? I'd love to hear your suggestions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.